Right. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Devin. Whose business are you digging in today, man?
Eggs and ass. They both went up this year. You didn't know that?
Listen, Mama, here's your boy, and he got something to say.
I always believe firmly, on paper, I am a white man.
Brother Kenny, Mr. Pound Town himself. Sir,
I'm unbothered. I'm getting ready to go walk my fish again and fly my cat. That cat in this whole 4 years. That's all I'm gonna
listen, y'all.
We apologize.
I really try to control my show as much as I can, but when y'all get started, oh my God.
It's TFG tonight. With Brenton Haynes, Kenny the Sports Guy, Mr. Lee Black, and the lady of the hour, Miss Devin Devine. Yes, sir.
What up, what up, what up? Hey, man, it's Friday, and boy, I'll be honest with y'all, some things gonna change and some things gonna stay the same. So y'all got us for 1 week now, 1 week later. Cause we ain't gonna be here next week again. So, but you know, it's for good reason. Devin going somewhere else. So, no, we just man, everybody, y'all doing all right?
doing great.
Man,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. Well, thank y'all so much, Carol. Hey, good to see you, ma'am, and all those that's coming in, that's chiming in, and not chiming in, just back there looking. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? All right. Well, listen, I ain't gonna play around because we got a lot to talk about in a little bit of time. So, listen, if we say something y'all like, by all means, feel free to give a little bit to the tip jar on the Cash App, and we'll make sure Kenny get his. It will be a fee, but he will get his. So, but thank y'all so much for that. Why you ain't updated your Cash App yet?
Cash App was doing something funky, man. They was trying not to, I think it may be cleared up, but I hadn't dealt with it since me, Black and I had talked. So I'm gonna try it out and see.
Yeah, y'all can't sell drugs on those type of things, no way.
No, man, I was trying to get me an OnlyFans thing going. Hey. I guess they didn't like some of the things I was trying to do with it. So Cash App was like blocking that.
we'll ask about
too many of them ping emojis on there.
So, wait a minute, what you say, Lady D?
You put too many penis emojis on there.
Oops, man. Oops.
No, ma'am, I did not.
Wow. No, we'll ask about Chocolate City later, so don't worry about it. Don't try to tell all that right now. All right, well, fantastic, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We got to keep up with y'all president, because, ladies and gentlemen, we've been gone for a couple weeks, and the country is hanging on by a thread, y'all. It is hanging on by a thread. Sister, since we were gone, they had a fight. And the white boys came to town. They had a little, they had one of them Klan meetings apparently over there because, again, now they having them at the White House. And so look here. One of the fighters said he was so excited and he wanted to take his opportunity to tell us that Michelle Obama is a man. And I'm going to be honest with you. The problem with that is, and this is crazy, there's a lot of black people that think Michelle Obama is a man.
It is.
I did not know that.
Really?
It's a whole lot. Yeah.
What is wrong? What is wrong with these people? I don't. And so again, you can't even get offended by the white man because the black folks say she a man. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's going on? What's going wrong with these people right now?
I literally have never heard a black person say that. Every time I've heard that, it was
bravo. I'm glad.
Black person. So I guess my timeline is acting right. But I thought it was. I saw it. I thought it was very sad, very distasteful. Kind of what I wanted was for everyone to basically ignore him, but for the sponsors and all of that to pull out and hurt his pockets, because the way you hurt people today, you hurt their pockets. So my hope was that the sponsors would just pull out, because it's so disrespectful. Because I've heard that in the past, but I swear to God, I didn't think that came from us. That kind of makes me sad, because I hear so often from people who don't look like us that they think that black women are masculine anyway. They think we're very masculine, very man-like, and some of them think we look trans and all of that kind of stuff. So I've always heard stuff like that, but I've always found it to be disrespectful, whether it's Michelle Obama or anybody. It's just tacky.
Yeah, I'll be honest. At the end of the day, I've seen women of all ethnicities that can pass for a man. So I'm not really sure what all the fuss is about when it comes to black women. But I'll just be honest with you. I better not hear y'all say that about my wife. Because again, I bet y'all won't go sit there in Barack's face. That's all I got to say. Because again, Secret Service gonna make sure they deal with that one. So, but Black, I got one for you. Your president said years ago that he was gonna drain the swamp.
I've been thinking about that too.
And this man has actually created a swamp on the Lincoln grounds.
Literally.
$16 million he paid to have some My Pillow guy lookalike come in there and dash them boys with a whole lot of, and then cause the water to turn green. He ain't come to drain the swamp. He come to put something in there. What's wrong with this man, dude?
I have increasingly become convinced that he no longer really wants the job. I don't think he wanted it in the first place. I think he wanted to be reelected for two reasons and two reasons only. One, to be able to say he matched Obama as a two-term president, and it kills him that he couldn't do it consecutively. And then he's used the office in exactly the way he said he would, as a vendetta campaign to go after all those who went to him. He has no interest in doing the job. And in doing so, the second term, he surrounded himself not only with sycophants, but with ineptitude at a level that we didn't see at the first administration, because now he only listened to himself, and he said that on 60 Minutes. And so I'm not surprised by anything. When you see a UFC brawl on the lawn of the White House, when you see a literal swamp, and yet he stands in front of the American people. And we need to mention that this UFC party, that's the event that will celebrate his 80th birthday, cost the American taxpayers $60 million. This is the part where I don't think people understand. We pay for that.
UFC said they paid for that.
When you got paid today, and the taxes are taking out, we pay for that. Even for those of you who are on SNAP benefits and Social Security, every time you crack the seal on a liquor bottle, whatever, any state taxes on gas, products, foods, and services, we pay to have those people on that lawn. So I'm not surprised by anything that has happened. I'm convinced that he's weaponized the office. He don't give a damn about it anymore. And so he surrounded himself with people, and he's turned the Oval Office into one big cash machine. So this idiot who does the pillow campaign, he's handing out funds left and right. And instead of doing it under the table, he's doing it in plain sight.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, I'm gonna give this one to you, because your president, now he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, but he has an idea that he would like to pull unemployment benefits from all the states for the first time in history.
Wow.
This man, I told y'all, the only thing he know how to do is file for bankruptcy. In America, we're headed there with gasoline draws on.
Yeah.
What's up, Jack? Good to see you, man.
Hey, what up, Jack? What's happening? Let me correct something you just said. He's not my president. He's the president of the United States of America.
He signed your last
he signed what?
He signed your last refund check you got.
No, he didn't. I ain't getting no refund check from that client. So no, he did not. But the thing is, man, again, I think we said this over and over again. I've said it. I mean, it's just like a nightmare. Yeah, we saw. Yeah, they just attacked Iran today. He think he's willing and dealing with these foreign countries, and they really laughing at him. Actually, Iran really isn't scared of Donald Trump. No. They don't give a ish at this point. They ain't got nothing to lose. So all this braggadocious stuff he does on his Truth Social media, where he lies to his people all the time. They believe anything he says. He never comes with any truth. Again, we're just living in this nightmare, and I just hope these next 2 years can fly by so we can get his ass out of there.
Well, all right, so I give you the last word. What you got?
I just wanted 2 quick comments, and I'm done with politics. Anybody that believed that we had reached a ceasefire, I have a bridge to sell you.
Oh yeah.
There was countless times where he said that the conflict was over, this, that, and then when Iran's chief negotiator Mohammed Bagher Ghalibaf told the state-affiliated news outlets that everyone should know that the administration of the Strait of Hormuz would never go back to the way it was before the war.
No. Yeah, no.
The reality is he handed them a weapon they didn't even know they had.
Man, good Lord.
And so the reality is whatever deal eventually gets struck, which again, that's a lie that we ever had a ceasefire. And folks, I've been talking about this on this show for many times. Is it a accident, a coincidence that on Friday, right before a holiday, he's attacking? It drives the news cycle so that we continue to not have to talk about the other issues. Folks, we got real shit going on. 2 earthquakes in Venezuela. We still can't get to the Epstein files. And then to answer your question, my brother, we're about taxing Social Security. Well, folks, in the ceasefire so-called deal, he was going to hand $300 billion with a B to Iran. So, folks, the money has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
He has already beat the hell to SNAP benefits and everything else. And so the reality is he's doing this in plain sight with no accountability and retribution from the Supreme Court, Congress, Senate, or anybody else. So if it does get struck, folks, the money has to come from somewhere. And what the saddest part is going to come from the very base that supports him the most.
Well,
yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Curl. Curl is asking all those in the building, if y'all wouldn't mind sharing the video and liking it, please. By all means,
appreciate it.
You listen. We got to respect those that are in
What's
charge.
up, Nihar? What's that?
Hey, friend. Good to see you. Yeah, we got. And he was in Chocolate City too, so we're gonna let him talk about it, huh? So you can have something to think about this evening. All right. Well, we appreciate you. Oh my God. All right. Well, that's a little bit of politics, y'all, because I can't keep up with that boy. One day, you can't even do one day with this man, so it's ridiculous. But listen. Food in America. I have seen so much foolishness on these doggone internet streets that I couldn't just talk about just one topic about food in America. So I need to talk about a couple of things that's going on in this country concerning our food, and I definitely want to hear from my family about this. My first thing I want to talk about, do y'all know it's a study out right now that says, I know, sister, you may not eat some of these food, but for the rest of us, I think, well, maybe Kenny may, but bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and ham are officially classified as the same cancer risk as cigarettes. I ain't never smoked a cigarette a day in my life, but my goodness, I must be a chain eater because I ain't gonna stop eating my bacon. Sister, you in the medical field? Are they gaslighting us?
I feel like they are, but then again, we don't know what chemicals they're putting in this.
That is true. That is true.
And I do bacon because bacon and ham are great to flavor your food. So I eat a lot of it like in that way because that's the best way to flavor, especially like greens and stuff like that. But as far as just eating a lot of bacon, I don't. And what's funny is the trip I was recently on was in the Bahamas, and I always make friends with them because in my mind, those are my cousins. When I go to the Caribbean, I've decided I'm always related to those people. But anyway, they were telling me that when they come to the States, they only stay for a couple of days because they don't like to indulge and eat a lot of the food. And then they don't like to be around our culture very much. They think that Americans are hot-headed and got trigger finger, they just feel safer where they are as far as food and everything. But they were saying that they don't trust our food. It doesn't taste the same. It don't look the same. And they believe that it's just not fresh and that we shouldn't.
Not healthy.
So when you say that, it makes sense to me what he's saying because we eat it every day. We don't know it tastes any
That's
different
right.
and look any different. So I believe it because I believe
Wow.
they put things in our food to make it last longer so they don't waste as much.
You're right.
And those preservatives could easily cause cancer, unfortunately.
And listen, don't get me wrong, Lee Black. I do understand there are things that have been placed in food that, like, I know for sure there are that whatever the chemical is or the item product is that's used to go into shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that stuff goes into y'all food too.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you're eating things that you can't. If you can't spell it, you probably shouldn't be eating it, right? So again, but Lee Black, I mean,
you would eat hardly nothing, then, Brittany.
That's true. Yeah, that tastes good anyway.
You see how she used my name. Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna let you. All right, I know you jet lagged. I'm gonna let you have that one. Okay,
that's what it is.
Okay, that's it, Lee. So I'm just saying, do we got long to live? Then I mean, cigarettes. They've been taking folks out here that lung left and right, man.
We got about as long as it's meant for us to live, in my opinion. We're being dated.
It's a time for everybody to get on out here, right?
You know, but I agree with Lady D from a medical perspective. And then you got to understand this is about money. At the end of the day, you know, I read the full report, and and then I've watched the documentaries on how our food is processed, things like that.
Yeah,
it's not an accident, folks, that we live in a time now where autism and autoimmune diseases are as common as ever. Go back 30, 40 years ago. If somebody, had ADHD or something like that, that was an anomaly. Hell, everybody's walking around here now with something, and I'm firmly convinced it's not only it's the water we drink, the food we this and that. And again, just going back to politics, he took 13 billionaires with him a few weeks ago and sold off even more of our country to China. And so, folks, read the ingredients on your food, your toothpaste, everything else.
Yeah.
I've been saying this a long time. Make America great again. We haven't been great in 50 years. We don't make shit. We don't invent shit. We don't find shit. We don't do shit. We're famous for being famous. And so the reality is, we're all slowly dying and being poisoned. Having said that, for the movie Malcolm X, that part rat, part cat, part dog, the 4th of July weekend is coming up next weekend, and I'm going to be a part of that dirty pig because I'm going to suck it down as much as I can get in my fat head.
Wow, no pun intended, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Kenny, I'll be honest with you. I remember a time when regular chickens weren't as big as they were, and now you would think a regular chicken is a Cornish hen with they popping out at Popeyes and KFC. So I know antibiotics is a problem, and I mean,
definitely the chicken. I mean, actually, I always thought Church's chicken. Why was their chicken so much bigger than other establishments?
That's why I feed it to them hoes, Kenny. That's why I feed it to my hoes.
Oh my God!
But I digress.
You know what? Like you got just a stable full of hoes.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that, Brother Black. Now I get it. Yeah, they get full off of them 2 legs. They can't. Yeah. All right. But the thing is, and I have to agree with Brother Black. I think we should definitely be careful of what we consume. I think we still should do that and make sure we're not just overdoing it, because I think as long as you don't overdo it, or you're not eating fried chicken every day, you're not, you know what I'm saying, ingesting fried foods or eating sweets every day. I think everything that's done in moderation, I think you'll be okay. Well, but then too, just like Brother Black said, we all got an expiration date. We all gonna get out of here with something anyway. So,
well, and I'll just flip the coin on the other side. So apparently McDonald's then is reporting that they plan to give a subscription to fries for if you pay the subscription of $20 per month, you can have unlimited medium fries.
Damn, I might sign up for that. I love me some damn French fries.
They gonna put a disclaimer in there. No. It's gonna be unlimited till 5.
Right. You're gonna get 2 a day. You know what I'm saying? Something.
I might have to sign up for that one.
Carol, we definitely thinking about you and your nephew because again, there's a lot of people for sure we know that's going through that. She said, in my opinion, genetically engineered foods. Yeah, and again, even what the Lord's chicken, that's what y'all call it, that Chick-fil-A, they just said that we're gonna use antibiotic chicken now. So they just done caved in and just told y'all straight up and down. They just can't keep up, right? There's too many people food. What'd you say, Neha? She said church's chicken sucks up.
True. Yep.
And listen,
speaking
of FIFA, let me tell y'all something. There's, y'all that FIFA going on right now for soccer.
Yeah, World Soccer.
There's a report, y'all, that Norway actually had food shipped from their country over here.
I can believe it.
Wow.
They said we don't want America's food. We want our food.
I believe it.
Wow.
I don't blame them. I mean, I get it.
We're trying to feed them that fake ass broccolini. I ain't never heard of no broccolini when I was a kid. Now all of a sudden,
I ain't never heard of that either.
Broccolini.
I'll just say it like this. I do understand because when you travel and you begin to eat food that you're not used to, accustomed to, your stomach
get sick. You get sick.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And so then you come home and then you back. So there's something going on. And I can't just put my finger on it, but it's just like even the overseers don't want out. But I will say them Asians got a hold of their chips and salsa now. They said they done found a new life. they said chips and salsa.
I seen them at Chick-fil-A.
It's somebody. What they do?
They love Chick-fil-A.
Do they?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, wow.
They don't have a Chick-fil-A overseas.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, yep. Well, that's what's going on with food in America, y'all. Because it just America. We do good at a whole lot of things, but I don't think food is it, y'all. So, all right. Well, we'll move on. All right, brother. Listen, last time we was on here, man, we thought the Spurs was going to, take it to the 6, but they didn't do such good. So
they didn't.
Yeah. And what was so funny, what's her name, Letitia James? She was getting mad because Spurs wasn't gonna let New York come up in there with buying them tickets. So I don't know how true that was, but anyway. Yeah. But man, let us know what's going on in these sports streets.
Well, we gonna talk about that because we weren't here last Friday, and obviously, if you've been under a rock, them damn Knickerbockers out of New York City won that chip.
You didn't
first time in 53 years the Knicks have had a parade for NBA championship. It's been a while. So, shout out to the New York Knicks. Definitely got to talk about that with my good brother Lee Black, who is a New Yorker. If you did not know, now you know. And listen, man, I picked the Knicks to win this series in 7, but they shut it down in 5. It was 4-1. They came back from double-digit deficits in every game. They were down in every game. Nihar says there was a white woman drinking a Fuzzy All and thought it was an energy drink and couldn't figure out why she had problems driving. Well, crazy. That's her problem. Hey, know what you can handle. So again, the Knicks won their second championship in their team's history. They've only won 2.
Wow.
It's 3 now. 1970, 73, and now 2026.
Now she want to chime in. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, what's up, Sherry? Oh, yeah, now the other New Yorker comes up in here. The other New Yorker comes in. So I'm going to ask this question last because I want to get everybody's opinion. But just the thoughts on the Knicks finally winning another chip. It's been 50. Yeah, thank you, Nihar. Appreciate the love, baby girl. The Knicks finally winning another one. Black, you would have been roughly the last one. You would have been roughly around 5 years old. Yeah, right. Yeah. So talk about how as a New Yorker it feels for those Knicks to finally win one.
It was surreal, and I hoped they would win, obviously. But literally every game, watching it with my sister on the phone in real time. And the game where they came back from 29 points down, I had gone to bed. She woke me up and said, "Hey, brother, they won." I thought she was pranking me. And so the night they won it all, it was surreal because I have a love-hate relationship with New York teams. On the one hand, I bleed New York Yankees, but they've disappointed me so often. I could have never imagined that the Knicks would be the team that would bring glory back to New York. And so for me, it's surreal. It's a beautiful thing. And although I missed the parade, going home next weekend, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, there's a bit of pride. There's an internal pride that I feel claiming New York, even though I don't like you New York bitches, but I claim the city.
My God.
Well, damn. Well,
he always got to turn that corner to them women. Always turn that corner.
He took a quick left for you, New York ladies. Hey, remember that's the opinions of Lee Black and his only. Me and Brother Brenton and Lady D. That ain't what we talking about at this point. Lady D, I know you probably like, I was rooting for the Spurs. Your thoughts on the Knicks finally winning one after 53 years?
First, I want to say that means to me that there is hope.
Yeah,
everybody has an opportunity and a chance now, because mine was in the 90s at least. There's hope. Second of all, I was happiest for Charles Oakley because I happened to see him. You know, he was actually kicked out of the Knicks stadium.
Right.
After the ass, so you know, a time back, they actually allowed him to come in and celebrate because he didn't get a championship when he played for them. So he was so excited. So believe it or not, although I was rooting for the Spurs, I'm not gonna lie, but just due to proximity. But I was happy for him, oddly enough. Just watching him celebrate and be allowed to celebrate with him.
Yeah. Nihar said, here he go, laughing out loud, talking about Black already.
Yeah.
You know, we can't keep him chained up, Nihar.
Nope.
Brother Brenton,
Yes,
what does this mean for New York Knicks basketball, in your opinion? What does this mean?
Nothing. They got to wait another 53 years.
No.
Oh, shots fired.
Put them on the clock, Doc. Yeah.
No.
Listen. If the Mavericks ain't gonna do it another 40, 50 years, y'all ain't gonna do it. It kind of reminds me how we won that championship against the Heat. That year, because it was just like we was waiting on them to fail. You just wait on them. It was like, oh, that's here they go. And they finally pulled it out, man. But so I can understand. I understand the energy I was having, the nervous energy, and then when it happened, it's like, oh wow, it happened. So, you know, we'll see, man. Because again, I think there's one or two situations that happened that would have caused them not to win it, and I just think again, they were looked at as an underdog, pretty much, even when they were in Atlanta. And so now everybody gonna be gunning for them. So it's gonna be a lot harder now. So yeah.
So the Knicks, man, again, shout out to Mike Brown. You know, I think he's a good coach. He was able to get his first championship after being fired from a couple of gigs. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. What can you say about that young fella?
Yeah.
Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. You know, he left more money on the table. So the Knicks could sign some players. He left the Dallas Mavericks for less money, by the way, Mavericks fans. So shout out to Jalen Brunson. And my last question before we get out of here, the Real Estate Insider says, in the Mavs with the new legendary head coach. Yeah, Dusty May out of Michigan. There's a lot been going on. But we're just going to talk about the Knicks. This is my last question. I go going around the horn, like we on ESPN. Family, for real, the people here was crazy and embarrassing me with things they would. Yeah, it's been a lot of craziness going on in there. So it was a mess. Yeah. But Jalen Brunson, who's the captain, was asked. Y'all know Donald Jerome has invited the Knicks to the ghetto ass White House, because you know him and Knicks owner James Dolan are buddies.
Right.
It's funny that the Knicks, the only game they lost was when that showed up.
Yes.
But anyway, I diverse. I divert. Should the Knicks, and they asked Jalen Brunson, had you guys talked about going to the White House? Jalen Brunson said, you know, we hadn't really talked about it, and that decision hasn't been made amongst our players. Whereas James Dolan says that we've accepted the invitation to the ghetto White House. So my question to the family is, should the Knicks go to see Donald Jerome at the White House? Start with you, Lady D. Should they go or should they not?
Absolutely. And they should be in there with their hood clothes on, even if they don't dress like that. If that ain't even their personality, they should just disrespect it the way they've been disrespecting itself. They should be in there with Swisher Sweets. They should be in there with old school liquor, Coke 45. They should just do the most, because that's what it is anyway. Because, you know, when people go to the White House, especially teams, they are their best. They dress nice. They're very poised. I just think that they ain't gonna do it, but that's my dream, for them to just go in there and to treat it and act like what it's been displaying lately. But as far as meeting him, I wouldn't want to go, but you also want to be supportive of your team and be a team player. So it's kind of a catch-22, you know.
True. Brenton, should they or should they not go?
So if I was going to answer your question directly, and then I'll answer indirectly, should they go or should they not? I don't care. So but the indirect question is, I mean, it's business, because it whatever they do, it ain't gonna bother him one bit. And that's what, you know, saying, like, if they come, cool. If they don't, he'll just lie and say something, and then he'll move on. So again, there's no moment of holding up your fist at the podium at the Olympics moment for me there, because you can't do nothing. This dude has no shame. Like, you can't shame Donald Trump. So even if you try to go in there and make a statement to Devin's point, you know, show them who you are, he'll probably take it and then he'll run with it and talk about how much of a nigga y'all is. So again, it's a catch-22 when it comes to him, because again, you trying to go make a statement and he'll just say whatever he want to say, and you say, well, that's a lie. Well, it don't matter. So you go. If you don't, you don't. At the end of the day, we won't care in 10 years, no way. So again, unless well, I ain't finna say all that, but yeah, I mean, what, you won't gain or lose nothing by going and not going. I didn't even remember that no NBA team went when he was in office.
Yeah, no professional NBA team.
So to my point, that's what I'm saying. So to my point, it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna even matter, because I didn't even remember that. So again, go or not go, I don't care. But, you know, do whatever you feel you need to do.
Brother Black, your thoughts? Should they go or should they not?
I'm gonna pick up on the very last thing you just said. For me, it's an individual choice. And so that's what I hope it is, that your team owner volunteered you to make it appear that you are in support of his friend. I respect the shit out of what Jalen Brunson did, as he says, well, wait a minute. That wasn't my choice. We haven't even discussed this.
Right.
There are those that feel like they want to respect the office itself, and they want to go to the invite. You're not, if it's me, I'm not going to not be your teammate if you make that individual choice. But I would be very proud to see people make an individual choice. And if it was up to me, I wouldn't go. And for a different reason, you mentioned, Brother Brenton, that you're right. You can't shame him. He is a very little person. He's small-minded and petty, and the smallest things does get under his skin. And that is the very reason why I would choose not to go. What the White House used to be is a welcoming place. And that's why under Obama's administration, Biden's administration, every other president, other teams went, because of the fact that he made it a place where they felt welcome. This particular president and administration has gone out of his way to make it plain. What do we have to do? Stand on the Empire State Building and scream from the top of his lungs? Anybody that's black and brown and that's not a true American, he don't give a fuck about. So as an individual, stand 10 toes down. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, and that's okay. And so for me, I hope they make an individual choice to say thank you, but no thank you. And that's a statement worth making in of itself.
And I agree with everything everyone has said. My personal thoughts on it, I think it should be up to the individual teammate. And if I was their teammate, if they decide to go, I wouldn't look at them any differently. And that's your choice, you know, at the end of the day. Now, personally speaking, I wouldn't have my black ass there. I just know, because I know I can't front. You know how you can be in a company of people and you be kicking and, oh, yeah, that. And you know you don't really fuck with them like that. I'm not that type of person. I can't do that. So that's why I know I couldn't go. I was like, nah, man, I've been and said something out the way, and y'all be like, okay, he getting cut tomorrow. James told him, say, yo, we got to get him out of here. So it would be best for me not to go. But I will respect my teammates if they decide to go. I'm like, cool. Now I know where you stand. So I know how I kind of know how to deal with you, because I can work with you, but I probably won't deal with you outside of these four, this 94-foot court. So I think, again, I like the way Jalen Brunson handled it too. So we don't know if all of them going to show up. Maybe only 2, maybe all of them. We don't know. But the invite is out there, so they can go back there and they can see that old jacked up ghetto ass backyard with the dog on the chain named King that I saw when I was just in DC. So, all right, New York Knicks, y'all gonna be in for a treat. Y'all gonna get some barbecue or some McDonald's chicken nuggets. I know that's what he fed the national champions a couple of years ago. So don't expect nothing. All right, I'm done. I'll toss it back to you, Brandon.
My goodness, Nehard, you done got him all worked up, honey. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, honey. She say, please subscribe, and I agree with her.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Thank you so much. So all of a sudden, yes, and I agree. A lot of people need to hear this conversation again, because folk ain't telling the truth out there. So it's all good. But yeah, thank you. See, that's why he got that cutoff on today. I see what's going on around here. Y'all take that to another channel. Y'all get some DMs going on.
He prepping for his OnlyFans, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lady D, you're supposed to be on my side. You're giving out personal information.
You better make that money. Don't let it make you. What you talking about?
I mean, listen. If she say big head one more time,
I think she go from experience.
Conversation going off the rail, right?
I know. I'm gonna stop mess. All right, listen, y'all. We did it last time, and so I got to bring a new generation in. We did last time we were with you guys. We did the comparison between our Gen X. What I do now?
No, CC. No, I don't. No, we just joking.
Oh, she said what? What she said?
No, CC. No, I don't.
Wait, he ain't got it. Yes, sir.
No,
yes, sir.
We just joking.
Carol, that's all right. Don't sign up for don't sign up for nothing else. All right. Okay, let me stop it. So again, we did Gen X versus millennial last time, and so I thought that was a great conversation. And so now I wanted to do Gen X versus Gen Z. There's a couple things we'll probably jump over, but it's a couple some interesting things here that I thought, okay, well, man, let's have a conversation. So again, I asked AI, what are the thought processes that Gen X has that Gen Z have, and what are the differences? And so they gave, of course, y'all know what number one was: technology, right? So again, it says Gen X, which we know, the generation experience the transition from analog to digital. It says they adapted the new technologies, but often maintain a preference for face-to-face communication and phone calls. Their formative years included the rise of the internet, but they remember the time without it. Then Gen Z says Gen Z as digital as a digital native. Gen Z has grown up with smartphones and social media as integral parts of their daily lives. Their communication is often rapid, visual, and relies heavily on digital platforms. They favor instant communication through text and social media, often prioritizing brevity and visual content like memes and videos. So they tell us, sister, that they got a short attention span. Now remember, Gen Z is 1997 to 2012. And we are Gen X is 1965 to 1980. So again, we know a time when we didn't have internet. They've never known a time without the internet. What y'all think about that, sister?
I think what you said is actually accurate, because I have two, because my children are Z. And when I think about it, where I can sit up and watch a YouTube video, they can't do that. They watch TikTok and Vines and just like short clips and things like that. I just don't think they have the patience to sit up and watch a video or whole shows unless it's something that they're truly interested in.
Ah, my God. That's why one school is promoting school being in for 4 days instead of 5. I'm like, Yeah, y'all ain't helping these kids out no better. Black, I mean, what you think about the way the interaction with social media then?
Yeah, it's very telling, and when you consider the age group, and so that 14 to 29, where they've grown up, and it's impacted every part of their life, to the point where their attention span, it drives all of their decisions. They don't have the patience to do anything, and so the lessons that we traditionally have passed down, they don't want them because they want it in a microburst form. This is the generation that, if right now, if you say, well, how to fix a toilet, how to change a tire, we will go to a YouTube video to see the extended version of step by step by step. They want it in a 3-minute burst. Yeah. Cut out all the other stuff, get to it, this, that, and the other. And while that is beneficial in some ways, there's something lost in translation as well, because when you skip steps, you miss out on fundamental things that are important in life in other ways. And so while they are in some ways technologically more advanced than us, they've lost a lot.
Kenny, they can't take a phone. They got to take a phone to the restroom, to the kitchen. When they're doing chores, they got to have a phone. I mean, my goodness.
They can't even count out change. They can't even count out the exact change. If you go to a restaurant and you give them a $20 bill, or it's $11.99, and you give them a $20 bill, they can't even count out change, man. So that's even a whole nother topic for that. But you know what's funny? All my children are millennials.
Are they?
Yeah. Okay. So, but they fall into the same story too, because technology is what has driven their life. So they don't have the basics of learning how to do things step by step. They can't even write in cursive, first of all. No. So I think AI was on point. That's the big difference. Gen X, I think we're the generation that's actually has been able to adapt to a whole lot of different things, in my opinion.
Oh my goodness. Yes, no, Carol, I'm with you on that. I mean, attention span of a gnat. You hear me? Yeah. So I got 3 Z's and 1 alpha. And when I tell you, anyway, we ain't gonna do alpha because them kids, anyway. Anyway, so all right. So number 2 was social issues and activism. I thought that was interesting, but we're gonna talk about it because I got a story I want to tell y'all. So it says Gen X, when it comes to social issues and activism, it says Gen X is known for their skepticism and pragmatism. Very on point. It says they often approach social issues with a sense of individualism and may prioritize personal and family stability over collective activism, shaped by the economic challenges of their youth. Gen Z, on the other hand, this generation is characterized by a strong sense of social justice. They are more likely to engage in activism and advocate for change on global issues such as climate change, racial equality, and mental health awareness. Gen Z's activism is often organized online and emphasizes inclusivity and intersectionality. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Intersections.
You are.
Okay. Black, what you take on that? Because I
disagree vehemently.
Okay.
On the idealism of it is somewhat accurate. Yeah. When you consider Gen X, I like that it talked about the skepticism and the individuality.
That is so true.
And based on our personal background and history, because we come from a generation where we had to learn and as Kenny said, adapt to many different things. And so we think as individuals, how is this going to affect me and my family? Let me take a step back and hear what you're having to say. And before I engage and make a decision, because I'm looking at the bigger picture and how it's going to affect me long term. Now, if you want to tell me that Gen Z, that they're organized, on paper. Yeah, it's very easy to sit from the comfort of the device, and they organize for all kinds of shit. They think they've reinvented the wheel.
Right.
But when it comes down to actually doing something, they don't believe in anything. And the reason why they organize, in my personal opinion, and they're willing to jump in about climate control, this and other thing, because it makes for great fodder for social media.
Yeah.
And they don't think as individuals, they operate as a collective. I said this many times before. If I stand and scream from the top of my lungs that this green rock is going to take us to such and such, there will be enough of those little dumb fuckers that will stand behind me and I'll be marching in a couple of weeks that green rocks for everyone, green rocks for everything. So they're organized enough to be able to say we believe in things, but it's empty rhetoric. And that is what the problem is. We've not been able to diffuse the social consciousness of our generation with the youth for them to get involved, to get out. They have all the technology, but they don't do anything with it. And that's why that generation has not produced not one single leader, not one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna nerd out here for just a second, sister, because when I look at this, the skepticism is right, but I think it comes from us seeing our parents be taken advantage of because of the lack of education, number one. But then number two, when it talks about how Gen Z is they're on this crusade of activism. Well, number one, the thing it talked about was racial equality, which they've never been discriminated like we were. Right. And number two, talking about mental health. Well, yeah, the culture tells y'all everything is a mental health problem. So it's almost like they in this big old they ain't never really fought a war, but they've been told that y'all have the greatest, fight on your hands. So it's just like, all this is a behavioral issue to me in the first place. So, I mean, what do you think, sister?
I think it's true. I remember I tried to get my son a while back to go to the military. Now he done made so many bad choices they wouldn't even have his ass. But I tried to get him to go to the military, and his response to me was, "I ain't fighting for a country that hate me." I said, "Boy, anything you do is for people who hate you. You can go work at Walmart, and your manager is gonna hate you in the background. But at least you're getting a check." I said, there ain't nowhere in this world you gonna go that thinks of you the way your mama do, because ain't nobody gonna tolerate your shit like your mama do. Yeah. So the problem with, and what I say that is, the problem with them is they're sheep, they're followers. They do whatever they see everybody else doing. They believe what everybody else believe. They don't research stuff. And when they would ask me a question like, "Mommy, did you see such and such? Do you believe that?" I'm like, "What is that? Why do you believe that? Does that even make sense? Why, what are you advocating for? Do you even know what you're cheering for?" "I'm cheering for such and such, and this, these certain people are doing wrong." I'm like, "Can you sweep around your own front door? Why are you worried about what the hell is going on over there in Africa, and your black ass can't even get a decent job and can't start a life for yourself?" Like, I don't understand it. And they say that we are kind of negative, and actually what you said, we're skeptic and all that stuff. But I just think we think more. Like, you can't tell me you can't knock on my front door and say, "Devin, will you join us in this march for such and such and such and such?" Who the hell are y'all? And what am I marching for, and what am I gonna get out of it? When they did the whole Black Lives Matter movement and people was getting run over and shot and shit, you know what I told them? Where do I donate? Like, what's the Cash App for it, so I can see a little bit. Right. Be out there marching and getting shot at and all this other stuff for people to be. Then we find out she's spending the money for herself, bought a house, a car, and all types of crap. I just want them to think more about what they're doing before they just jump on a bandwagon. That's all.
That's it. Yeah, they are, Carol. Definitely. But I'm with you, Neha, on that one too. So, Kenny, I'm gonna give you this one. I remember my child when she got on at Chick-fil-A at 15, and of course where I'm from, we are the minority, and I remember them working up at Chick-fil-A, and she come home one time because she was just so appalled at some of the things they were doing to them, talking about us. Right. And talking about they done formed a coalition at the job calling themselves the Harriet Tubmans. And I said, "The Harriet Tubmans?" I said, "What are you? Go Go to work and put them fries in that doggone grease and shut your mouth. Talking about no Tubmans.
And your plight ain't nowhere near
Nowhere near.
Harriet Tubman.
Because you don't want to be on chicken, you want to be on. I mean, you better go in there and slice them tomatoes.
They told you couldn't have tomorrow off, so you go get your hair done. So they discriminated against it.
That's funny.
But me, that's exactly what this speaks to. It's like y'all think y'all have been discriminated against, right? Because you got to close.
they have no idea, none whatsoever. It's funny, and it's funny now that you tell that story because it is funny because just thinking about, I'm thinking about the black leaders that we know about. I'm thinking about the Martins and the Malcolms and the Medgar Evers. They were in their late 20s and 30s.
Right.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
They were boots on the ground. AI totally got this mixed up. These Gen Zers ain't got no boots on the ground. They ain't out in the streets. They ain't out in the community. They ain't got nothing to give up. They ain't got to fear for their life. So how the hell are these Gen Zs talking about social activism? They don't. So I don't know where AI was talking about Gen Zers. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, nah, they totally missed it on that because they dang sure don't know nothing about social activism. Now, organizing, I agree with Brother Black. They have the tools to organize online and get everything in order. I get that. But organizing online ain't on the front line. So that's a totally different conversation, in my opinion.
Man, listen,
I remember just really quickly. I remember going to like Crumble Cookies, like just some generic place. And I live in a predominantly not black area. I was gonna say white, but we got a whole bunch of Indians here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right.
The Indians and the whites, they're about neck and neck right now. Anyway,
yes.
But there was a little young white girl. She looked like she was about 15. And I remember she passed me and she was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. And this is how naive they are. She don't have the common sense to know that she can walk past the wrong person that'll knock her head off for no reason, just because they don't like that hat that she wearing and what it represents for them. Because for a lot of us, it's almost like a Confederate flag. But she's so naive and ignorant in what that could mean for her. She think it's cool that she making a statement as this little girl walking around with this hat on when her mama and daddy should beat her ass for even leaving the house with it on, because you don't be a dumbass now. You're gonna F around and find out. Like, don't be this person.
All right. I'm trying to tell you. Well, again, y'all, we went through it. Y'all pretend y'all in the metaverse hollering about discrimination. So y'all give me that, please. Okay, lastly, it says work and career perspectives. Now, we've talked about this before for us. So it says that we're typically driven and focused, career focused and pragmatic, valuing job security and work-life balance. We often expect to work our way up within the organization and are influenced by the economic fluctuations and job market instability of our earlier careers. Gen Z, although they prioritize passion and purpose in their career, they are more likely to seek jobs that align with their values and they change jobs frequently. Amen. Okay. Y'all, I'm finna tell y'all my business. I mean, how you gonna be? You barely 20 and you already got 4 jobs. You know. Okay. Anyway, you got your resume. Okay, Lord, your resume shouldn't be longer than mine's already. So, all right. It says change jobs frequently in pursuit of personal fulfillment. Flexibility, remote work, and strong company culture are also highly valued by this generation. Kenny, they'll leave if they don't. If they find out somebody got 10 cents more on their paycheck than they do.
Hey, bro, I see this ish every day where I've been at FedEx.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen. I had to say, you know what, you Gen Zers, y'all might get mad at your aunt, but y'all some lazy bastards.
Man, Man, Kenny, man, you giving us all the color tonight.
I love
it. Y'all, you guys think that you've arrived, that everybody owe you. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to work this hard. I shouldn't have to go do this other. Stop, man. The world is gonna eat you up and spit you out, and don't give a ish where you land, Gen Zers. So y'all need to stop it. Come on now. Again, y'all got all the tools at your fingertips that we didn't grow up with.
I'm telling you.
But don't act like you just privileged. You're not. No. Learn to work at it. And I'm talking to the men, them Gen Z men, because I wouldn't want my daughter to marry now one of these Gen Z men. I'm gonna be honest with you, because they some lazy, you know what's.
Kenny,
that's my opinion.
Man. Kenny, you almost triggered me. I'm
okay.
I'm gonna move on to Deb. I'm gonna move on to Deb before I say something. Sister, I mean, what you thinking about this?
I agree with everything except Gen X and appreciating the work-life balance. That is not true, especially older Gen X.
Yeah, that's true.
Gen Xers will not take their freaking PTO. They will wait until they say you finna lose it. It's been right.
You're right.
You don't use these 20 hours, you're gonna lose all of them and you won't get paid. So there
I definitely admit to that.
Forced to take off for 40 hours, and now you feel like you done wronged the company and you losing money, even though you're still getting paid. So I agree with everything except Gen X does not like taking off and does not enjoy or appreciate a work-life balance. Y'all need to spend some more time with me, because my ass, every chance I can.
Oh, yeah. If this your first time tuning in, Lady D gonna get flying out somewhere.
They be judging me at work. I don't give a damn. Fire me. You shouldn't give me this PTO if you don't want me to use it. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I'm supposed to use it, because they was like, you can always just sell it if you max it out. Who gonna sell it? I don't even know why I feel to max it out. Like, I don't get that. But I need Gen X's to start valuing a work-life balance and stop thinking that when you retire, you're going to start going on cruises. When you retire, you're going to start playing golf. When you retire, you're going to do all these things, because I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You might not make it to retirement. And two, you might not have the health that you have today to be able to enjoy these things that you want to enjoy when you retire.
Y'all don't even know Devin go to work early just to put in PTO 100 for she. Lee Black, what you thinking about all this?
I agree 1,000% with my brother and my little sister. And ironically, me and my sister was having this conversation today about this very same thing. So Lady D, you nailed it. And so the one thing that I have had to evolve and adapt from Gen Z is the fact that they'll say, fuck that job. Now, while I'm not willing to go that far, I did have to adapt to Lady D's point, because we come from a time where we do prioritize working and the relationship we build with the company, and we do let economic factors make us decide. We think of job security, and if I do this and that. So I've had to adapt and evolve to a point where I took off today. I ain't done a goddamn thing today. I woke up.
I know that's right.
It's on everything
already.
Me and my sister Sherry had this conversation today, because the one part of my brain was saying, oh my God, I don't want to burn a PTO day because I'm going on vacation next week. Right. And then I thought about the fact that the Gen Zers, and since Kenny, you got on the men, I'm gonna get on the women. There's some lazy bitches too, because these are the same bitches that every time you look up, we only in June, they've already had 3 FMLAs. How the fuck you do that? You know, how the fuck you get 3 FMLAs and we only 6 months into the year? You know what I'm saying? But they have no compunction whatsoever saying, I don't feel good today. I'm stressed for my personal home-like work balance. Their dog could die. They could have to move to another apartment. They're triggered by any and everything. And so I've had to take a page out of their book, because I have to realize that, like Devin said, I'm 58 years old. Me saving all my goddamn PTO and saving every last little penny. I eat crab legs every other goddamn week. I drink what I want, eat what I want, because I had to adopt and adapt their mindset that If you don't treat yourself well and insist on a work-life balance that's conducive to your own quality of life, a company damn sure ain't gonna do it. But in terms of work ethic, that whole generation is lazy as hell.
Y'all, and listen, I know for those that are just tuning in and watching this show for the first couple of shows, crab legs are not something for something else.
This is
no, ladies, he's not eating that. He's really talking about crab legs. So.
Well, hell, oh no, he might be eating that too.
All right, I'll move on. Oh my goodness! Wait a segue. You get it? No shame. Ain't no shame, y'all. Now listen, we have talked on this show enough times about women and their body count. But Jennifer Lewis, and if y'all don't know Jennifer, I don't know what she's most famous for. I guess
Jennifer Lewis, she was on Blackish, the mama, on Blackish. Yeah,
I remember her from Different World as the
Dean. Different World as the Dean. Yeah,
that's what I remember. But if y'all don't know, y'all gotta look up Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis was on Keke Palmer's podcast, and Jennifer ain't got no shame. But I guess she was just trying to throw it out there. But she said that. She back in the day, she has accounted for 63 men she has let run up in her.
I remember watching the interview, her talking about that some years ago.
Boy, I thought you was gonna be one of the 63.
Oh no. She had a little bit about. I love me some Jennifer Lewis, but she out of my age range. No, she's fit into my age range.
Yeah. So to your point, Kurt, that's what I'm talking about, right? So
yeah, she keeps it real. Yeah.
I'm wanting to understand because again, right? This could have been a quiet part out loud for me, but at the same time, because again, we said right, it's none of your business what the number is. If you like somebody, you like somebody. But now that we know, sister, should she be? I mean, again, people gonna think what they want to think. But do you think that she did herself a disservice? I guess because she's older, that don't matter. But letting us know that she done had 63 up in her.
At her age, who gives a damn? Like, this lady is probably at a time in her life where she don't care what nobody thinks. She probably over having a man. She just tired. She may buy some ping every now and then if she wants some because she got a little change or whatever. But if I think about Jennifer Lewis, and I hope I'm not wrong, I think she has to be around 70 because I recently seen her do
you close. She's 69. I just looked it up.
Okay, good. Because I didn't want to, it's hard to tell with us sometimes.
Right.
But to be 70 years old, and in her generation, they start having sex around 15. That's not a whole. They do. They start having babies.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's not a lot of men if you compare a 70-year-old male celebrity now, something like her, and what they're doing. Some of them used to say they had sex with multiple people in one night. Now, should she have shared this info? I mean, it's her business. I don't think it's necessary to share it, but I also don't think she gives a damn what anybody thinks anymore. Because I don't think any differently of her. Actually, I think she's more funny because I always thought she was funny. I just think it's kind of funny.
Sure. I love Jennifer.
I am very intrigued by people who are upfront for sure. But Kenny, is 63 then the same as 63 today?
It's definitely not.
Okay.
I think you're right. I think 63 in her generation is a different 63 probably in our generation.
Okay, because she talked about making sure that she kind of calmed down because HIV was coming up.
Yeah, because she came up through the 60s and the Woodstock and all that. Miss Lois, come on, Sherry. I would call Jay. She ain't not a garden tool, Sherry. But I definitely think it is. The 63 is a different number.
Okay.
If you ask, then to now, just because the freedom, sex, and the freedom revolution, and the woman liberation, and all that, I think that had a different context to it coming up when she came up with it. And I agree with Lady D. Jennifer Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, again, I listened to her interview. I think her first sexual encounter was when she was 14 or 15. So, so you got to understand, and that probably wasn't consensual, by the way. You got to take that in consideration too. So no, yeah, me personally, her number 63. Actually, I think is pretty low for a 70-year-old woman.
Hey, Miss Toria. She said,
"Hey, Lady T,
we'll catch up later. I have my hands full taking care of." All right,
we understand.
Tell them we're thinking about him.
Sending peace, love, and light your way.
Carol said 63 today is like being a no. Okay, well, listen, y'all know how I do. I'm finna set him up. I got one for you, Bleed Black. I got one for you. If you know your girl that has 63 million in her, how in the world can you satisfy her?
So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask this, because I guess I agree with CC. If you telling me a 70-year-old woman is admitting a number,
I don't care about her age though. I'm just saying if she done got 63, how can you? Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't think you can satisfy these pussies anyway. Personally,
there you go.
You can't beat these pussies into submission. You can, basically entertain them. In my personal opinion, but again, we think we killing the game. Lady D attests to the fact that more than half the time they probably faking it anyway. So that's a whole nother conversation. But my thing is, I brought up her age for a reference that I agree with CC.
Mm-hmm.
If you telling me a 70-year-old woman is admitting to in her lifetime 63, have no problem with that whatsoever. I personally have never cared about the number, because I agree with CC. Maybe I run into the different quality of women that I think the numbers are far greater now, and long before they ever get to 63, get to 70 years old. And so my take on this is I love her even more because the context in which she brought this up, she was discussing how that was her drug of choice.
Yes, addiction. That's right.
That was her addiction.
Yes.
And that resonated with me because I have had two brothers that are no longer on this earth that succumbed to HIV and AIDS, and they were crack addicts. And I have a third brother who is a recovering crack addict, and I'm grateful to say that he's been off crack now for over 10 years, whatnot. So while I that wasn't my addiction, sex was my addiction. The numbers that I did were absolutely ridiculous. I don't say that to brag. I say that that's what addicted me. So to hear her talk about it in that context, I appreciate that for a woman coming forward to talk about it and not hide behind the fact that women are just as active in many cases as men are. And in today's society, if you want to talk about the Gen Z we just talked about, even much more so. And so for me, I find that even more attractive. I thought it was an intelligent conversation because to me, she didn't do it in the context that I see Taraji P. Henson and some of the others that they doing it for clout, that they get to this certain stage where now for no earthly reason, I want to let you know that I'm fucking younger men or this, that, and the other. She was having an intellectual conversation about, in this case, how she had to adapt and change her behavior. So the number for me is insignificant because I've always subscribed to the theory, you're not going to get the real number anyway. And to end with your conversation, you can't beat these pussies into submission. A fucking 8-pound baby comes out of these holes. What you really going to do in these holes? Come on, please.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You always end on a good note, don't you?
I have one question for Brother Black.
Okay.
Why do you want to beat a pussy into submission? Why do you want to do that?
Because that's just the man. When you stand up in Superman, you have to Superman that pussy. You have to stand up in it and make sure that you beat it into submission. That's just
nigga, please, nigga.
I've always wanted to ask Brother Black that. I just
have you.
Nerve.
Well, you put that in the suggestion. You put that in the suggestion.
My mindset is I have to conquer it. That's my mindset. I don't want no bad dick reports out there. So if you ain't gonna stand up in it, don't play around in it.
Listen, you put that in the suggestion box next time, Ken.
Oh, my bad.
No, you put that on the parking lot. No. Yeah, okay, we're talking about that on the production side of things.
Okay.
So, Carl, listen, I do have to entertain y'all, right? So some questions I know I'm asking, and but it's again, that's why I got to have y'all coming back. So okay, all right, well, listen. Ain't no shame in her game, and ain't no shame in this one either. So, honey, whose business is you digging in today?
The business that I failed and tripped into. I'm actually conflicted and really want to know what y'all think about it. That's why I didn't even throw you a hint, because I didn't want you to think about it. Okay. But the social media has been in an uproar for the last few days because my auntie Oprah, who I adore, made a comment about Whitney being on her show many, many years ago and being higher than Cooter Brown and falling off the stage. And she was saying how the purpose of saying that was how trustworthy her audience was and how much her audience respected her because they had phones and cameras and things like that. But no one shared the info and it never got out. So she was actually bragging on her audience, but it kind of bit her in the butt because a lot of celebrities, including like Ricky Smiley, have kind of come at her and said to her, said that they thought that was inappropriate for her to be shaming Whitney. And they feel like she takes digs often at people in the Black community, et cetera, et cetera. So I kind of wanted to know what y'all thought about that. Black, did you see that?
I did. And I followed it closely. I was very disappointed. I agree with Ricky Smiley, and I like how he handled it. He called her out, but he was careful in how he did it. And this kind of is a segue for what I just said. I just didn't understand that without being prompted, there wasn't a camera in your face that says, tell us a story about Whitney Houston. Tell us something that you know about. What I didn't understand the point that for no apparent reason, you decided to disclose a story that you have to know was going to be embarrassing. And while Whitney is dead and buried, to now bring up and rehash the negativity surrounding her drug use and her family or people who's come out and said that story is inaccurate. And I don't believe it either, because you want me to believe that a full audience who had access to this, that it's never leaked.
Right.
And so for you to do that now, I talk about this all the time. We're the only people that cannibalize our own.
We are.
And it's so disappointing that it's not an accident that Gail made sure that she highlighted what R. Kelly did, even though she worked on the same set every day with Matt Lauer, but she's been mum. Oprah, you throw Whitney under the bus. You threw Michael Jackson. You was a part of the campaign to shade him. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Yesterday was the anniversary of his death. But even though you have the Oprah network, you've never come forward and used your platform to highlight any of the wrongdoing of any of the others, but you're willing to do it for us. You're willing to make sure that we know that Neverland was a place where kids this, that, and the other, but you don't want to say anything about Elvis Presley, this, that, and the other. We're the only race of people that cannibalize our own. And that's why for a long time for me, I don't fuck with Oprah. I don't fuck with her on that sense. So I was highly disappointed. And I'm happy to see that we now, because of social media, we're not enamored with who she is anymore, to the point where we're calling her out the same way we would anybody else.
Kenny, her brother did come out and say that he remembers the incident, brother-in-law, I'm sorry, but he said it was related to it being dark in there. And she was doing like a set check or whatever check, and she fell off the stage due to it being dark. But regardless, do you feel like Oprah did her dirty by mentioning that about her so many years later?
I definitely think she did her dirty. I totally agree with Brother Black. And, I think, Brother Black hit it out the park. I think our community, and I'm on social media quite often, and I think our community we are the only race of people that we like to go at and shame our people. I think Oprah was definitely out of line with this particular incident. Why would she even have to mention? She didn't even have to mention that about the drugs. We already know that. We know Whitney was fighting that demon. Why bring this story up? And she's dead and gone. So I used to kind of try to fight for Oprah with this back and forth with Monique. Monique been at her neck for years, but now I'm like, I kind of see Monique's perspective when it comes to Oprah, because she like to take digs at our people, But just like Brother Black said, she hadn't said much about the Matt Lawrence. I mean, well, Gayle King, but she don't really go at them like that. But us, so I just think that was disrespectful to the Whitney's family, and that story didn't even have to get out at all. We didn't even really need to know about that. So I don't understand why she felt like she had to tell that, and it's just disappointing that we are the only race of people that like to go at each other and make us look bad. And, you know, a lot of times we all got people in our family that we know got issues, but we'll talk amongst ourselves, right? We'll talk about, our cousin such and such, uncle, this and that. But we ain't gonna get on social media and let other people go at them like that either. So I just think that, Oprah, she was out of bounds for this, for real.
Brittany, you think she did her dirty?
The internet did Oprah even more dirty by showing her butt falling. So, I mean, you just never know. Again, you just never know how people really feel about other people. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really know why Oprah did it. And again, but like I said, the internet never loses. And so as quickly as she said it, everybody took Oprah busting her tail. And that's all it, because again, nobody care about that drama. Like you said, these kids want to see something funny. And they rather see a fat old woman falling on the floor than to hear about some skinny little girl falling on stage. So, again, I agree with Kenny. I think there is some truth, even though Monique I think she be like giving us more than probably what it is. I think there's some truth to what she's saying. So, you know what I'm saying, about them. So, again, that's why that man ain't never married her. But, whatever.
I think that the reason why it's so easy for this to happen, for one, when y'all hear any type of drama or something in the background about Black people, it gains traction. It gets the views. It earns money. Look how long people have been talking about it, and it's all over the platforms. If we heard a rumor that what's the white man that just had the airplane movie? I know that's so disrespectful. Top Gun, Mr. Top Gun.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
If we heard about Tom Cruise being high or something with her in 1980s or something, nobody would give a damn. Like, nobody would be talking about it. It's like, it's not as salacious. It's not as big of a deal. And two, I think it happens because there's no consequences. She's not going to lose any credibility from that. People at the networks are not going to stop effing with her because she made these comments about
a dead Black woman,
or no, Whitney, Monique, or whoever. You know what I'm saying, living or dead. Like, no one cares. Like, she's not going to lose any money or friendships or connections or networking because she talks about one of us, and it gains traction and it gets the video the attention that they wanted it to get, because Black people are just, we're fun to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And it's just fun to hear about. So I think that's what it is. I think she just is old and was just talking, and she said it, and it should have been kitchen table talk and maybe not on a platform, is what I think happened. And I kind of wish she would just come out and say that. But I can get how people can find it disrespectful because there's probably so many things that she knows about so many like celebrities and people. And I'm sure she got some stories about Clive, who just died, because I heard he got some skeleton in his closet and stuff like that.
He got some
circles. So there's people feel like there's so many things she could have said and so many things she could have talked about, but she chose that one. I think it's because it's easy and people like to hear about it. But I was very, very curious to know what y'all thought. And now I'll go back to minding my business, and I hope that falls off my timeline.
For real.
Well, I really have a hard time talking about celebrities because I still ain't recovered from Quincy Jones. Find out he gay. I just, that's just.
Well, there was a story. Well, Richard Pryor was supposedly, like to dabble with me.
Not an artist that like Bussy. They like that Bussy.
Okay, all right. I thought you were going to say Lionel Richie. Lionel looks sissy. So anyway, all right. Lee Black. I thought about you when I thought about this. There's a new reveal party that folks out here having now, and so the gender reveals and all that kind of stuff, and they come with all these new ways of doing things. Well, they done changed the game now. We done got so ratchet. There's a couple that has now this girl. She is throwing a party to reveal who the baby daddy is to the baby she pregnant with. Close your mouth, sister. Listen, I be trying to look out for y'all when Lee Black be coming at y'all, but y'all be going around doing some stuff like this, and I just be like, see, that's why this boy got stuff to talk about, because y'all turn around and do so. I mean, sir, why would you want to go to a party where a woman is now finna reveal? How many niggas gonna be then? I mean, Lady D just finished saying how it gains traction, because
clicks and views.
without even looking, I know it's one of us. This is one of us. I know this is one of us, And the sad thing about it is, Lady D, the reason why this gains traction is that the others have made millions doing. Let's go back to Maury Povich.
Yeah.
Built his entire empire on this entire thing. And I always hated, I actually stopped watching his show because of this, was because the premise of the whole, you are the father, always angered me, because he lucked up on a formula that brought in viewers that shamed who we were as people. You bring a woman out who says, I know he's the baby daddy. I'm 1000% sure. And the audience is hooping and hollering because the guy's painted in the worst possible light, only to come out and then it be revealed you are not the father. And they were talking about him all kinds. Shut up, Alexa. Shut the fuck up. But anyway, and my Alexa started just talking. So anyway.
Oh, man.
So anyway, after they dog this poor guy out and then he's not the father, she gets to run off stage. And then the show was built on, oh, no, you can't say anything bad about her now. And so what it did, it created a generation where we basically glorified absentee fathers, hoism, whatever you want to call it. And so it made being a hoe something to glorify. And so here we are now that we're having a new reveal party, and that people would even attend under the guise that you don't know how many dicks been in your musty trap, and this is something we're going to attend. And come on, people, but it's us. And you got to remember, last part I say, this is how they see us.
Sister, I'm going to read you what the girl said. Her name is Zaya. She says, I have my baby in less than 3 months, and this pregnancy, I decided to step up as a woman. I did not know who the father of my child would be, so instead of worrying about the gender, I invited both of the men, at least it was 2, I've been sleeping with, so they could meet each other to figure out who the dad will be when I have my baby. We are getting blood work done, and both of them are okay with it. I am team red, but my family team blue. I know you don't speak on behalf of all the women, but my God.
I be trying, friend, but sometimes bring back shame. You know what I'm saying? Mama, no,
y'all was okay with Jennifer though. We was okay
no disrespect to my mama, but my mama got 5 kids, right? Okay. And she started having, like I said, that generation. She started having babies young. And for the longest in all my life, she told us we all had the same daddy. But as the older we got, the more we realized we don't look nothing alike. And then we would go to my daddy's hometown, and they'd be like, "Ooh, such and such, you look like such and such that went to the military in '81." And mama is such and such my daddy. People just lying shit. You don't know what they talking about, and blah 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 blah. And I believe my mama gonna go to her grave telling us that we all got the same daddy when we know better. We know we don't look alike. We know we don't. So I don't understand why today there's like, because let me tell y'all something. We got a 3-week window as women to be able to get pregnant. We have a cycle. There's a week before that you can't get pregnant. You got 3 weeks just in between cycles to get pregnant. How many dudes are you sleeping with? And if you only slept with 2, you sleep with them too. You don't have no goddamn gender reveal, baby shower, nothing. Like, because you ought to be ashamed of yourself. When the baby's born, y'all just go get a DNA test at the CVS or whatever. Because I think you can pay now with your EBT card and shit. And so go get it done so that the baby can know who their father is. I personally think there should be a law instated right now where you cannot sign a child's birth certificate until DNA results have returned. Because I just feel like a lot of women do that to dudes, and I think it hurts us as we become older adults and we gotta wonder and stuff like that who we belong to, and what if I need a kidney and I'm thinking Steve my daddy but it's really Fred over. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think that you should have to do a DNA test at birth before you're able to sign your name on a birth certificate, because I just think it's ridiculous and it's embarrassing, and also that will bring back enough shame to where you're using birth control. And I didn't have options for like Plan B and shit back in the day. If I slipped up with somebody, now you can sleep with a random dude and run to CVS and get some shit out there. They got a vending machine on college campuses where you can get Plan B on college campuses the next day to avoid getting pregnant and stuff. That's just ridiculous and stupid. And I be trying, Black, but they be making it hard for me.
Good Lord. Well, Kenny, and again, I ain't got no dog in this fight, but I just want you to speak to. And again, I don't disagree with Devin, but I'm asking this question just for the sake of conversation. So why are we less embarrassed by Jennifer than we are about Zaya?
Well, because Jennifer doesn't have any babies, that far as we know. I don't think she has any children. Jennifer Lewis, I don't think she has any children. Okay. So that I think that's that's what I'm saying. Okay. That's what I don't think she does. So that I think that's the big thing. But I'm gonna speak to the men. And I agree with everything Lady D said, but I would say this from the male perspective. Mm-hmm. I put a lot of responsibility on men too, because you got to protect yourself too.
Well, one of them did.
well, we don't know that. We don't know that. We don't. Right. Maybe not. Okay, what I'm saying is,
fair enough.
If you dealing with a woman that you may, whatever. Yeah. Until y'all, I ain't gonna even say until y'all married. You better strap up, buddy. Okay. You need to strap up. But again, that's not 100%, effective. But I think as a man, you have to protect yourself too. And I'm gonna say this from my personal perspective. And my brother and I were talking about something similar to this. Okay. I said this when I was like 10, 11 years old. I said when I got of age, I said I wasn't going to be that dude that have a bunch of babies by different women. I said I was going to have my babies won't be by one woman. I'm 57 years old. All my children is by one woman.
That's what's up, man.
Because I said my self-discipline, that's self-discipline. I knew, was I out there in those streets? Goddamn right I was.
Okay.
But I was responsible too. So that's on the man too. I ain't gonna put all this on the woman. It's on that man too. So you ain't got to be in a gender reveal when you try to figure it out if your guy over here that you don't know is the daddy or you. I wouldn't put myself in that position.
Well, now let's lead back before I go to you. Kenny, I really want to know at 10, what kind of conversation were you getting into?
I had my imaginary friend that I was talking to.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, brother.
You gotta remember I was the only child for a while. So I had my imaginary friends.
Wow. I would love to know what the response was. But go ahead, Lee Black. Go ahead.
I just want to add one last thing and praise my brother below me, my brother from another, because I agree with everything he said. And I want to answer your question. And from my perspective, you say, well, why is there not the same shame attached to Jennifer Lewis is here? Because she wasn't glorifying her behavior.
Yeah, good point.
This was a older woman. That's why, for me, I go back and look at the context of the conversation.
Well, she said
this was an older woman talking about life lessons.
Right.
I've done a lot of things. If you ask me a direct question, I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. Mm-hmm. But I don't sit here and glorify it. I sit here and tell you that I know I'm a hoe. I know I've done a lot of crazy shit. It's the reason why I envy you and Lady D that y'all have been able to sustain and have meaningful, lasting relationships. I'm not that dude. I'm a work in progress. But here you have a young woman that's glorifying bad behavior. And to my brother Kenny's point, it's not about gender, because that same accountability and lack of respect that she's showing, I've often said, somebody like Nick Cannon, I'm ashamed of him.
Yeah,
I'm ashamed of his behavior.
Sure.
That he's trying to popularize having that many children just because you're rich and somehow normalizing that. So I'm with my brother 1000% here. We should be normalizing bullshit.
Okay, sure. Girl, I'm with you. You know, a lot of men raise children. And again, even in some states, if your name is on that birth certificate, I don't care if it's yours or not, you are the legal father. Right. And that's crazy. That's crazy. What'd you say, Miss Tori? Jennifer Lewis has one child.
Oh, she does have one child. She adopted. Okay. Well, she didn't birth the child. That's what I thought.
You can be a hoe and still know who your child by too, though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. You're right. Absolutely. You're right.
Or you can just keep your legs closed and keep your mouth open.
This is
What's the fun in that?
Moving on to the next topic.
Oh boy.
Nope. Not gonna do that.
You know what? I'm not even touching that conversation. with a 10-foot pole. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We're talking about feelings, ladies and gentlemen. Look at you. Thank you, Carol. All right.
I'm just talking shit. I've been a relationship person all my life to my default. I'm just that person I get single and I do it for a year or two, and then I'm like, let me find somebody.
I know that's right. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that either.
All right, Carl. Watch it now. Watch it.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Maybe I have been, but I don't do it. That's nasty. That is not my.
Clip that. AI, clip that. We got a clip.
All right. I see the train is derailing. Let's come on. Come on. Everybody take your seats. All right. All right. TFG after dark. I see where we're going. All right, listen. Okay. All right, listen. I want to talk about feelings. And I want to talk about people in your feelings. Do we trust your feelings? Just feelings in general, because those are your emotions, right? And we talk about emotional roller coasters. People say things like you shouldn't trust your feelings. Some people say you should always go with your feelings, right? And so I just want to ask y'all a few questions about our feelings. So number one, how much do you trust your feelings? Your gut, right? That's what I go with my gut. Now I know. Okay. Before y'all get started, I ain't interested about the women's intuition. I said feelings. Now, if y'all want to equate the two, fine, but don't give me no sermon about no doggone women intuition, because if y'all I ain't gonna mess with you, sister.
Yeah.
How much do you trust your feelings?
I trust my feelings too much, actually.
What does that mean?
I'm told I'm an overthinker. I make a much bigger deal out of things sometimes than I should. Things of that nature.
Oh, okay. Black, how much do you trust your gut, your feelings?
1000%.
Do you?
I live alone, and contrary to popular belief, I'm a loner, and so for me, every day I have to talk to the most intelligent person I know, so I talk to myself.
This guy.
Nobody asked you all that. We just asked you for your feelings. Thank you. I mean, he is the one that says on paper he's a white man. So I get
little joke.
All that white privilege. Thank you, sir. Okay, Kenny.
My fellow Capricorn talked this up at 10.
He did.
I talk to myself now.
I'm telling you,
my brother.
Yeah, Kenny. How much do you trust your feelings?
I trust them to a certain extent. I'm more of a facts over feelings type cat.
Okay.
But I do go with my feelings sometimes, but it's more facts for me.
Now I don't know if I'm saying this right, but there is a double entendre to feelings as well, because if you can trust them, also there's a way where you can get into them, right? You're getting in your feelings, right? So they say you get in your feelings. So, sister, how often do you get in your feelings?
unfortunately for me, I don't have a lot of emotional type feelings. When I get in my feelings, it's usually anger. That's not good. But I don't get angry very often at all. So not often do I get in my feelings. I'm more of a give a damn. I don't have a lot of give a damn in me. And so I don't get in my feelings very often.
Okay. I like what you did. So now I'm going to amend my question to the fellas. So fellas, when you get in your feelings, if you do, which feelings do you normally get into?
Good question.
Okay. So
for me, nostalgia. I'm more of nostalgia. My feelings, I get into some past things, past history, past whatever. So I'm more nostalgic when I'm in my feelings.
Okay. Okay. Black, what about you?
I'm like Spock from Star Trek. I internalize my feelings. I'm very private, and I guard how I'm truly feeling. You might not know what I'm really feeling. And so when I do get into my feelings, it is a conversation, an intellectual conversation inside of my head. And so for me, to my fellow Capricorn, for me, I don't act on it. I'm a cautious person when it comes to my feelings. I have to vet it through many channels in my head before I act on it.
Okay.
Good. I like that too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, so then here's my third question. I got one more after that, we'll be done. So is catching feelings, and again, all things equal, this is talking about you, the infatuation or that desire. Is catching feelings too early in a relationship dangerous? Sister?
Yes, I think so. I think all of us have been in situations where we've quote unquote caught feelings, only to later find out it was just like an infatuation. And my problem is I would catch feelings first until you have feelings for me, and then I don't like you no more. So I just know I just be like in a moment. And then I just kind of let it go. Because it's a weird thing about me. I think I like people more when they don't like me as much. And I think they don't like me at first. And then I need to accomplish it. And then once I accomplish it, it's like a fish out of this bowl bag.
What game you playing, Harpo? What you talking? Why are you doing them like that?
Because it's a game. It is a game. Let's go and be honest with you. Love is a game, especially right off the bat. It is a game. And as far as catching feelings, I think as men, I can honestly say that you really try to pull back. You really don't want a woman to know if you really feeling her.
Okay,
I can speak for me because because women don't want no dude that's already like in love and this and that. Wait a minute, you showing your feelings too early, or because women will look at a dude like that and be like, this dude is a little bit. I can run over him. So if he's showing his feelings like this early, I know I got him. So as a man, it's. What'd you say?
Well, you really think y'all be lying because you're trying to get some.
That's not always the case.
Everybody don't lie to get no.
Every man ain't got a lie to kick it.
A lot of you do. Not all of you do, but a lot.
Nobody's talking to you. We said every man ain't lying. Nobody's talking to you. Nobody's talking to you, sir.
But I think catching feelings is difficult for men because we're told that we're supposed to kind of put on this facade like we that dude, but then we find that woman that we really feeling, we feel like, I can't let her know I'm feeling like this. Okay, so it's a catch-22, I think, for men.
Okay, Black, is it dangerous?
It is, and I wonder if this is truly a Capricornian thing, because I share some of the same beliefs with my brother below, because I failed at the second most important decision I ever made in my marriage. It caused me to guard my feelings to the point where I don't catch feelings. By the time I catch feelings, the relationship has probably already run its course, because I do keep it close to the vest, as Kenny said, that having gotten burned and my own personal experiences is that whenever I have opened up to a certain extent, it's been taken as a sign of weakness. And so the results have always been better, Lady D, for me as a man, when I had that hard shell. You said that somebody that you know didn't. For me, it's always worked almost the polar opposite. If I act as if I don't give a shit about you, well, they love everything about me. And so my experiences have been that if I display the slightest crack of, oh man, I'm feeling this chick or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, now there's a tendency to try, it becomes a chess match where I'm gonna take advantage of him, and I can't abide that. And so I keep my feelings very close to the vest, and I don't get in my feelings for that reason. And I do intellectualize it so much so that I'm almost planning for it to end. I view relationships that it's a ride and eventually it's going to come to a stop. And so rather than put myself in a position to get hurt, I was so damaged by my divorce, I don't ever want to give that much of myself to another woman ever again.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, this is the drum roll. This is the last one. So then, who would you say has the most control over your feelings? Because it's been said, the one who has control over your emotions is the one who has control over you. So who would you say?
That's easy for me. That's it's me. You know, I operate on a simple principle. My head is stronger than my heart. I make decisions based on here, not here. I ended a marriage, even though I loved the person, but it wasn't going in the direction I thought it was going in. I took the coward's way out before I got hurt even more. Let me let this go. And I've ended many relationships. I can end a relationship even though I love the person, but rather than risk getting hurt, you know, or embarrassed or whatever the case might be. So for me, my counterpart, she would have absolutely no control over my emotions whatsoever. All my decisions, I'm a selfish person. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. Every decision I make, every decision is based solely on my selfish pursuits, everything.
Okay. So Kenny, so nobody's ever gotten you out of your character. Nobody's ever, they don't have control of your emotions like that. Nobody's ever had that type of power. Okay.
This is my simple answer to that. I control my emotions. The other person control my reaction. That's how I always operated. So, you know, however, you know, my love interest, whoever it may be, they control my reaction. But at the end of the day, I have to accept responsibility for my own.
Okay, so just for the sake of the conversation, give me an example of what you mean by they control your reaction.
Say for instance, you know, we've been in a relationship, and they come to me and say, "Hey, I stepped out on you."
Okay.
That controls my reaction.
Okay.
But that doesn't control that, and that doesn't control my feelings.
I love that example.
Because that actually happened. That actually happened to me early in my 20s.
I've been cheated on. And so the thing of it is, it depends on who it is. I could give a fuck or not give a fuck. If it's community pussy, then okay, all right, it happened. But depending on what the circumstances are, my brother's right. My reaction might be different based on how you present it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Sister, what say you?
I don't usually give anybody the pleasure of knowing how I truly feel. I just keep it all bottled up till I'm usually by myself, because most of the time, if you got me in my feelings, you don't even deserve to know why I'm in my feelings or kind of what I'm going through. And if you do see me display my feelings, it's usually kind of like what Kenny said, it's usually anger. Because sometimes with certain, I'm not going to say men, women do it too. I know women personally who do it. You'll keep poking at that person and like messing with them and poking because you hate that they don't have emotion or feelings. And so you're going to keep on until you get a reaction out of them. And then when I explode and do some dumb shit, like take a bat to every picture and TV and shit like that to the house, and then all of a sudden I'm emotional or I'm in my feelings and shit like that. But if you would have left me the F alone 72 hours ago, like I told you, we wouldn't be, you know, in this situation. But in general, I think women tend to have more control over their feelings. We sit in our feelings. We know how to show our emotions and things like that. But I think we are in control most of the time of what our reactions are. I think men tend to be more in their feelings and more like emotional. And I'm not even just saying that because I'm defending women. I'm saying if you go look up the stats of all the women that are killed by men just for leaving them.
Yeah,
that's more of a territorial thing, though, for me.
I hear you though, but that to me is just an example of you not being able to control your feelings, because if you think about it, moving on with your life is probably worth you not going to prison for life.
That's right. No, you're right about that.
Or killing yourself, because that's kind of the outcome sometimes.
Yeah. I think pretty soon we'll get into a Black Love series, because I think it's more on that bone than I'm leaving out to. But I for the sake of just end the conversation here, I will say, for the fact that what we've said today, I'm not sure how we can trust something that can and sometimes is so unstable. I think you do need to probably manage. You can manage your money. You can manage your time. I think you also need to learn how to manage your feelings, because you're right. There are things, and I think that's one of the things that we have just kind of let go by the wayside when we're dating, is that we don't learn how to see people manage their emotions. Like I tell my daughters all the time, and even my son, I want you to upset them on purpose.
I just need how they react.
Yes, I want to know. Like, if you don't, I'm going to. and listen, I always get my answer, because again, I know how to piss off folks. So you know what I'm saying. So it's just me. But yes, Sherry, I sure hope your mama. She went to the kitchen for a minute. I sure hope she did. But if she did, so what? All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for that conversation, because I think it's very needed, and I think people they just overlook that. I think we shouldn't do that, but y'all work on y'all feelings, because again, as Devin said, y'all don't want to go out there in the streets and find yourself behind them bars. So, all right, sir, this is your mantra. I've heard it, so take it away. Niggas and flies. What you want to talk about?
Niggas and flies.
Yes.
So last Sunday was the official start of summer.
Okay.
And in the 2 weeks that we have been gone, I missed you guys. And I've never been prouder of this show than I am right now without seeing you guys. I miss seeing you guys for real. But what I love about this platform and this show is that if this is your first time joining, I love that we exemplify today that of the various different topics we cover, we call to the carpet what's on the menu. We don't discriminate, you know. And so for those that might think we only talking about white people, just that, no. We call to the carpet what's current, what's relevant, and it doesn't matter who it is without discrimination. And so as we leap into summer, and we now in temperatures, I live here in Dallas now, and it's hotter than a pig's ass around here. Getting in my car some days where it's 108 degrees. And I'm told by my nephew that you guys routinely have 30, 40 days of triple digit heats in a row. Oh my God. So I'm preparing for the inevitable of the sweltering hot dog days of summer. No more basketball. We got to wait for things to come on TV to get our interest. We just celebrated Juneteenth. And so we're in summer. And summer brings with it good and bad things. I got my watermelon. Yes, I'm a fat black man that like chicken and watermelon. But one of the things that I truly don't like is I don't like flies. Anybody who knows me, a fly is one of the most disgusting animals that I think God's created. They have a purpose. Google it if you must. But they're born out of shit. They're pesky creatures. And if they get into my home, I can't eat. I shut down. Even when I go to barbecues, I don't eat at a barbecue because for fear that a fly will land on my food. I always tell people, wrap my food up so I can take it and go home. Well, what am I talking about? In the interim that I've been out, folks, amidst all of the bullshit that goes on with politics and some of the things that don't even get talked about. Did you know that there were 2 earthquakes that happened in Venezuela? You know, the body count has gone up and some 30,000 people are missing. We've got J.D. Vance on TV compared himself to Nixon. But I want to talk about us. I want to call to the carpet us the same way I would if I do anybody else. Stephen A. Smith, Kevin Hart, and Jay-Z. For the past few weeks, they have done some things that have been polarizing and that have really caught a lot of attention. A couple of weeks ago, Kevin Hart had his roast, and he's been on a hot seat. It's not an accident that he's being quiet. Kevin Hart, of all people, don't hear much about it because in this roast, if you watch it on Netflix, he allowed white writers to get up and talk about Black people in a way that has bothered some people. Stephen A. Smith, being the cap that he is, he called out Donald Trump even amidst the New York Knicks thing, and Donald Trump roasted his ass, and he still refuses to roast him in the same way he holds other Black people accountable. And then we have Jay-Z, and we have a Jay-Z super fan beneath us she's mentioned here. Admittedly, I'm not a Jay-Z fan. I respect his hustle. Of course, I love his wife, but I've never even been that big a fan of Jay-Z. But Jay-Z just partnered with Target as the exclusive distributor of his album. I see your head shaking, Lady D, even though it's been well known that for the past, 7-8 months that we as a people have boycotted Target, so much so that we had made our statement. We affected their bottom line. And so it begs the question that why some of our most famous, well-known, visible people, and let's not forget Oprah Winfrey, are coming forward now to cause what I consider a blight on who we are as people. So I work in corporate America settings, and I want to encourage you guys that you might have to have this conversation that I did recently. I make sure that my counterparts know that just because they're rich, just because they're famous, they do not represent the rest of us or the best of us. You see, folks, these people, they have a tendency, because they are far removed from the daily struggles and challenges that the common folks have to go through, is that they have adopted this ideology in which they built their platforms on. And so for these people, the harsh truth that we have to face sometimes is that they have a crab in a barrel mentality of being plain good old-fashioned niggas. Now, I know my brother from another hates that word, and I use it frequently, but the truth of it is that just because you're rich and famous, these people are blinded by the illusion that they have a seat at the table, and they are in a position to speak for the rest of us. And I just want to make it clear that that nigger mentality, it's a harsh word, but it's appropriate. Because unfortunately, in this case, 3 men, it's sad that as men, when niggas walk through a door, oh my God, they have a tendency to close it for the rest of us. And it's the reason why Kamala Harris never stood a chance. It's the reason why, white people felt empowered to stand on a national platform and not roast him, but roast Black people in general. It's the reason why Stephen A. Smith could use his platform where he is the #1 show on ESPN, and he call out African Americans in a different way than he does anybody else. And it's the reason why, folks, that it's not an accident that when the NFL was facing a crisis over Colin Kaepernick, Jay-Z came to the rescue. And now that we're dealing with the economic impact of big business and those 17 billionaires went to China, who did they call on? Jay-Z. And I want us to make sure we're having a conversation with the others. They don't represent who we are. They don't represent the best of us. And so just even in this show where Oprah feels it's appropriate to shit on Whitney Houston's legacy and memory, and why people like Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Lil Wayne, Nick Cannon, Nicki Minaj, even Chili from TLC, Amber Rose side with an administration and a president that has went out of his way to make sure that they don't see us and don't want us to be a part of it. And then even this conversation today about Gen Z, it's not an accident, folks, that generation has produced no representation for us that can stand up and have this conversation in full view where people can recognize that we don't have a place at the table, folks. We just simply don't. And the truth of the matter is that when you look at the rollback of DEI, the changes in our civil rights, the gerrymandering, how they violated our civil rights and the voting access, that's not an accident, folks, because what they have done to us is take those individuals who they believe that represent us and they put them at the kiddie table. All of us know that when we have Thanksgiving dinner, you have a table for the big folks and you have a table for the kids. And so as long as Stephen A. Smith, Kevin Hart, Oprah's, Jay-Z's continue to stand and do the bidding for them, we're going to have the same status quo. Nothing has to change. And so I'll end on 2 quotes. Malcolm X asked the famous question. He says, what do you call a Black educated man that has a BA or a BS or an MS or an PhD? He said, you call him a nigger. He said, because that's what they call him. That's a direct quote from Malcolm X. And so as much as I hate flies, I'm going to end by quoting a famous urban saying. Niggas and flies, I do despise, but the more I see niggas, I'm starting to like flies.
Yes, sir. Him and that God Bless America.
I know. God dog it. That really gets my skin crawling.
Y'all, great show again today. I appreciate y'all. Again, ain't much to watch on TV no more, so I watch our show about 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
I mean, y'all, why you take so long on the show? Because I don't want to watch nothing else. So if I watch for 30 minutes, cut out, watch nothing. That's what I do. So, all right, but listen, fantastic. We won't be here next week. Lee's going, and since Devin found out, she's probably gonna go somewhere too now. But so I know how it go. All right, so again, if y'all hadn't joined the show, y'all know how we do it. Kenny goes first. Brother Kenny, I always appreciate you. You were very colorful tonight. I appreciate that. And
I don't think I was no more colorful than I've always been, but okay.
Devin.
Lady D, I was. Oh, I didn't think I was.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Maybe it was because of my trip to Chocolate City, where the ladies are pretty. I was in DC, ladies and gentlemen, for Father's Day, Juneteenth weekend, and shout out to my beautiful daughter, Candace Renee, and my oldest son, Kendrick Jr., for sponsoring the trip for her pops and their uncle. They bought our tickets. It got us a room for the weekend, and I must say that DC don't owe me nothing. Father's Day, Juneteenth weekend don't owe me nothing. I was able to go into the African American Museum and tour it for roughly 3 hours. And I would say this to any American, and this ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. Any American that lives in this country should go to the Smithsonian African American Museum in DC, because it would definitely give you a different perspective on history and on the slave trade. And I ain't trying to take us to history school, but it would definitely give you a different perspective on the plight of our ancestors in this country. So it definitely was a monumental trip for me. I was able to go see Dr. King's monument, which is dope. I saw the Lincoln Memorial. That was dope. I even saw that trash ass White House backyard. It wasn't dope. Donald Jerome and turned it into the ghetto. Got a goddamn pit bull with a chain named King on a tree, chained up. But I'm just being facetious. But that's really what it looked like. But Juneteenth, Father's Day weekend, again, doesn't owe me nothing. And I shout out to my children for loving their dad. And I'm talking to my men out there, for loving their dad enough to say, Pops, you've been present, and you just weren't giving us presents. That we want you to go out and do something that you want to do. So that was dope. And I definitely will remember this for the rest of my life. 2026 don't owe me nothing now, ladies and gentlemen, because last weekend was it. And so that's my final thoughts for the night. And again, I won't be celebrating this weekend because my people wasn't free in 1776. So I ain't telling none of you black folks not to get the money, take the day off. but our ancestors wasn't free in 1776. So y'all, if y'all gonna go spend all that money on this weekend, don't spend it with them, spend it with us. That's my final thoughts.
Thank you, Dolomite. I appreciate it. All right, sister. Always a pleasure letting us have your time. I appreciate it. I know it's valuable.
What I like to say, one of the things that we kind of hinted on was just kind of being in your feelings, and women being more responsible with their sexual health, things of that. I just want to encourage women to not be stank cooch assholes. Like, that ain't who you need to be. Like, if you just want to have sex with different dudes, because let's be honest, most dick is community dick anyway, right? So if you already know it belongs to the community, just, you know what I'm saying, don't be sleeping with a bunch of them. Use a condom. And if they ask you your body count, lie. If you've been with 20, tell them you've been with 2. If you got 2 of them twins, it ain't really nobody damn business what you doing. But don't be lying and saying your kids belong to somebody that they don't belong to. That's not fair to your kids. Little John is damn near albino, and you acting like little pussy. Stop lying to these kids. They have a right to know who they belong to. They might need a kidney one day, so you need to tell them who their real daddy is, and they real daddy might need a kidney too, which we don't give a damn about that usually, but he might just need a kidney. So I just want us to do the right thing. Happy belated Father's Day. I didn't get to see y'all on Father's Day, so happy belated Father's Day to y'all. Ken, I'm glad you are the type of father that could be celebrated. I got mad at my daddy once because he called me on Father's Day, because how dare you? But anyhow, God rest his soul. He up there playing dominoes with my granddaddy now. But anyhow, happy belated Father's Day to y'all. Happy Juneteenth to y'all. I was in the Bahamas getting me some jerk chicken, getting my eat on. So I loved it. I had so much fun. But y'all enjoy this weekend. Next Friday, we ain't here. So hoes, wear a condom. So you don't, like, pass the shit around. That's how you be getting gingivitis and shit in your coochie. Just treat yourself better. Love yourself more. Y'all have a good night. God bless you.
Oh my God. Y'all,
why do you and Black say this God bless you at the end of y'all soliloquy? I don't get it.
You need God's blessing in your life.
You got to give God the glory.
You know, before I let him have it, I will say, funny, Father's Day, my family had the nerve to say they were going to take me out to eat. I had to pay for my kids. And I ain't the worst part. My wife turned around and gonna break $100 bill out as though she was gonna pay for it. And I said, okay, thank you. And that nigga had a nerve to come home and say, can I get my $100 bill?
You know what?
I ain't mad at him.
That ain't you, Cody, bro.
Happy Father's Day. It's the love that show you that better.
I didn't raise these niggas like that.
Hey, Sister Haynes, you know you filed for that. Sister Haynes, you filed for that. If you watch it, I'm gonna tell you.
The other 364 days of the year, he knows she loves him.
Spirit said, "Go to the woman." So see, you ain't gonna win that.
Look at it.
You ain't gonna win that, brother.
Then she gonna say it was the thought. Sister Haynes, no.
Exactly.
My
But
God.
at least they went out to eat with you.
Well, listen, you could think a little cheaper next time, especially you're gonna foot me with the bill. I mean,
wow.
Make him the Lubis.
So
I don't mind that fish now. I'm playing with that.
First prayers to you, Miss Toria, to you.
Yeah, I was gonna get to it.
Right.
Now I'm going next week, and it just so happened the tickets were cheaper, believe it or not, this weekend than any other weekend. I think because of the New York being a host city for the World Cup. Having said that, Mom, I'm coming home. I have been trying to make it home for 7 months, believe it or not. But different things kept coming up. The weather in New York, different events. Then my other sister went home, and we try not to overwhelm our mom with too many of us visiting at one time. You know, for those of you who don't know, my mom is 90. Miss Eloise Young, the greatest woman I know. And I can't hardly keep a thought in my head because I got to lay my eyes on my mom. And so I can't wait to go home, but I also get to see my family. And so, yeah, I'm going to take my New York jerseys. I'm going to be representing New York Sis coming home. But I just wanted to lastly say that even from the context of this show, I am taking a page out of Gen Z, and I encourage us to do the same. I love, Lady D, that you're constantly going, and that doesn't go unnoticed. We joke with you about that. Yeah. But I love that you've incorporated that quality of your life that you've earned. You work, pay your bills. For those of you who don't know, this is a dynamic woman, management, in school, all those good things. And to see my brother traveling and for my brother below too, look, I've had to adopt and change and adapt to learn to treat myself better. So saving up, like Lady said, PTO time for what may never come. No, we can't do that. So as hot as it is, I am excited to go home to see family, see my mom. Anything else after seeing my mom is a total plus, but I am planning on going out with my sister and my niece. Any other brothers and sisters I see, other than that, that'd be great. But we have to start recognizing that we have to create the best quality of life for ourselves, because nobody else is going to give it to you. And folks, I got news for you. We're only in June. There's a lot of shit that's going to happen for the rest of the year. Be smart, be vigilant, take care of yourself, and make good decisions. But at the end of the day, whether you're a parent, you're a friend, or work, or whatever, take care of you.
Yeah. And let me say this to those that's wondering about that Band-Aid on Brother Black's head. One of them filthy no goods wasn't filling that church's chicken. It wasn't heated up warm enough, and she clubbed him right on the side of his head and told him she won't be back no more.
I was gonna say somebody sat on his head. I was gonna say somebody sat on his head and gave him gingivitis on his head.
Because he wasn't going to address it. I told him, I saw it. I already knew one of them 50 no goods had already hit him upside the head. I know with a skillet.
Bacterial vaginosis on his head. That's what that is.
That damn church's chicken had been sitting in his refrigerator for goddamn 5 days. And he gonna feed us some old ingested ass chicken. The thighs was all, they were bigger than I don't know. Yeah, she done clocked him up. Hey, Mama Black, my bad. Your son got hit in the head.
When you let it sit for 3 or 4 days, the chicken shrink.
Mama Black, your son got hit in the head. That's what happened. If you wonder about that Band-Aid, by one of them 50 no goods.
Y'all gonna let me do my final thought now?
Oh, my bad.
Go for it, son.
I'm just saying, I just make it up on the fly anyway. All right, well, listen, really quickly before we go, have you ever been asked to do something you really didn't want to do, but you did it anyway?
Obvious.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
But did you regret it?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just asking for a friend. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If that was a person, it probably look a little something like this. Y'all take a look at this. That's why you got your own self.
I'm finna hop on the hoverboard.
Why y'all keep sending him out to do dumb ass shit?
I got it, chill.
He said he got it. He said he got it. Chill. No, Playboy, you did not have it.
And what's worse is that woman done said it already up front. Why y'all already got him? Yeah, well, that's it. And she said, yeah. Well, I'll just say it like this. Listen, y'all go with your first instinct. We talked about your feelings. Go with your first mind. If you don't feel like doing it, just don't do it, because you just don't know what the outcome gonna be. And so, especially if you're doing something that stupid, I ain't getting on no hoverboard. I don't even roller skate no more.
Me neither.
Yeah. What you say, Miss Tori? She said exactly they are giving folks 50 years for protesting Trump. Wow. I don't know if you're going back watching the show or what now, because you're leaving.
Lady T, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sherry. Y'all have fun with Freddie.
Thank you, Sherry.
Have fun, Freddie. And so we'll see y'all in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's Devin, that's Kenny, and that's Lee Black, and we'll see y'all later. We out of here. Peace.